They found her drifting in an escape pod, alone, silent, and badly wounded. Her skin was alien, glowing blue, flawless, but down her spine, in perfect English, was a tattoo of a human child's name, Eli Marcus. When asked, she froze, her eyes filled with fear. "I don't know who that is," she whispered. But every night, she cried in her sleep, whispering the same name, Eli. No records matched it. No colonies were missing a child. So who was he? And why did this alien girl have his name carved into her body like a brand? The escape pod had been tumbling through dead space for weeks. No signal, no beacon, no heat. A passing cargo hauler picked it up on long-range scans and called it in. When the med team pried it open, they didn't expect her. She was unconscious, curled tightly around herself, pale blue skin marked with bruises and deep cuts. Her breathing was shallow, too shallow for survival at this altitude. But she was alive. Commander Reese stood over the infirmary bed, arms crossed, eyes fixed on her unusual features. The girl was beautiful in a haunting way. High cheekbones, thick lashes, long dark blue hair spread like silk over the pillow. Her ears were elongated at the corners, soft and curved like delicate fins. She looked young, barely 20 in human years, but her body told another story. Her build was soft and shapely, wide hips, plush thighs, and a generous chest rising and falling with each pained breath. Her skin shimmered faintly under the sterile lights, and across her spine, starting just below the nape of her neck, were 3 unmistakable words burned into the flesh in faded black ink. Eli Marcus, Earth. Reese stared at the name. No translator chip was needed. It was standard Terran font, a style abandoned 2 generations ago. "Where'd she come from?" he asked the med officer. No registry match. No ID. No chip. Just the pod, models decades old. Could have been floating since the Outer War. "She doesn't look older than 20. "Exactly." When she finally stirred, it wasn't graceful, it was sudden. Her eyes snapped open, glowing faintly in the dark. She gasped and flinched, scrambling backward until she hit the bed frame, arms pulled around her like a shield. "No one's going to hurt you," Reese said calmly, hands open. "You're safe." She didn't believe him. "Do you speak?" She nodded, barely. Her voice was paper-thin. "Where am I?" "You're on a human vessel. We found you in an escape pod." At the word human, something in her flinched, deep in her bones. "What's your name?" She hesitated. "Viral." "Viral, do you know who Eli Marcus is?" That was when she froze. Her mouth parted. Her pupils contracted. For one long second, she looked like she might scream, but she didn't. "I don't," she whispered. "I swear. I don't. But his name is on your body." Tears welled in her eyes. "I didn't put it there." That night, security footage showed her pacing in the dark of the med bay, hands shaking, whispering to herself. And once, when she thought no one was listening, she pressed her hand to her back and whispered through clenched teeth, "I'm sorry, Eli. I didn't forget." Whatever truth she held, it was buried under scars. But one thing was now terrifyingly clear: she was lying. And she wasn't ready to say why. She sat on the medbay floor that next morning, legs tucked under her, bare feet pressed against the cold metal. The name on her spine burned in Reese's mind like a mystery no database could explain. He approached slowly, careful not to trigger the panic again. Her long dark blue hair was tangled, draping over her shoulders like a curtain. She didn't look up. "Viral," he said softly. "You lied." She didn't argue. Her arms tightened around her knees. Her long corner ears twitched faintly. "I didn't mean to," she murmured. "I just couldn't say it out loud." "Not yet." Reese crouched beside her, lowering his voice. "Who is Eli Marcus?" She looked at him, really looked this time. Her eyes were glassy, swollen from crying, but beneath them was something sharp and hidden. "Shame. I was born in a lab," she said. "Not on a planet, not in a city. In a research vessel, built during the Outer War. We weren't prisoners, we were projects. Hybrids. Biogenetic experiments. Our creators weren't monsters, not at first. They thought they were saving humanity by splicing adaptability into alien DNA." She took a breath, voice trembling. "Eli was a child. A real one. Human. He wasn't supposed to be there. I think someone brought him to hide. Or maybe he was stolen." She rubbed her arms, where faint scars coiled around her wrists. "He was younger than me. Tiny. But brave. He used to sneak food to me, stories too. He told me about Earth, trees, birds, oceans. He didn't belong in that place. Neither of us did." Reese's stomach sank. "What happened?" "The station fell. It wasn't war, it was a purge. When the project was decommissioned, the facility went dark. Most of the researchers fled. We were locked in. I held Eli when the fire started. I told him I'd get him out. Tears streamed freely now, her blue-toned cheeks streaked with guilt. I failed. He died screaming my name. I tried to carry him, but the ceiling collapsed. All I had left was his drawing, and the name. So I had it marked into me, so I'd never forget, even if the pain took everything else. Reese sat beside her in silence. No longer a mystery. No longer just another lost alien girl. You were just a child, he said quietly. I still hear him, she whispered. When I sleep. When I breathe. Reese reached out slowly, placing his hand on her shoulder. Her skin flinched under his touch, then softened. You remembered him, he said. That's what matters now. And for the first time, her body stopped shaking. The guilt would never leave her. But neither would the name. And maybe that was how she would live with it. Weeks passed. Viral no longer flinched at every footstep. She still avoided mirrors, still sat with her back to the wall, but there was a softness returning, like spring after too many winters. Commander Reese saw it first the morning she stepped into the observation deck without being asked. The stars bathed her in gentle light, her long blue-toned skin catching its shimmer. Her dark hair, now combed and clean, tumbled down her back, partially hiding the name etched into her spine. But she didn't hide it anymore. I dreamed of Eli last night, she said softly. He laughed. He forgave me. Reese didn't reply right away. He let her speak, let her hold that space. I want to do something with it, she said, turning to him. The pain. The memory. I don't want it to just sit in my skin forever. What do you want to do? Her voice trembled with emotion. Help others. Like me. The ones left behind. The ones who carry names but no graves. Reese nodded. Then we'll start something. A registry. A remembrance. We'll find where the others ended up, if they're still out there. She exhaled, and it was like letting go of years she didn't know she was holding in. The crew had begun calling her the Blue Ember, not mockingly but with awe. The way she moved now, confident, still scarred, but no longer broken, reminded them of fire that survived being smothered. She started helping in the med bay. Quietly at first. Holding hands. Singing lullabies in a language only she remembered. Patients calmed in her presence. Some even smiled through pain. One day, a human child, newly rescued from a refugee transport, clung to her side. He was scared, shivering. And without thinking, she knelt and placed his tiny hand on the back of her neck. Do you see that name? She whispered. The boy nodded. That was someone I loved. A human child. Just like you. And I carry him with me, so I remember what matters. The child didn't say anything, just hugged her. And she hugged him back, arms trembling, but whole. Later that night, Reese passed by her quarters. Through the cracked door, he saw her sitting cross-legged on the floor. No lights. Just the stars pouring in. Her hand traced the old tattoo gently, reverently. I kept my promise, Eli, she whispered. You're not forgotten. And somewhere in the silent dark beyond the hull, through memory, sorrow, and hope, something answered back. Not in words, but in peace. She was no longer just a survivor. She was a witness, a guardian, a keeper of names,